A warm welcome to all our viewers to our series Natural Medicine today. Today we're talking about arthrosis and chronic pain and what innovative methods there are to relieve it relatively quickly, even in a matter of minutes, to achieve a painless effect at once. And that's why I have our movement expert Karl Müller here, and I'm very pleased that we talk about possibilities of this innovative method against osteoarthritis pain. Stay tuned. Hello, dear Karl. Thank you for coming.
Hello, Karina. Thank you.
Arthrosis is something that worries people a lot. So on every corner you hear arthrosis here or there, or if you just look for alternative pain treatments, there are, of course, plenty on the market. But not so much seems to be really fruitful. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so many people who suffer from it. How about you? What kind of experience do you have in the topic of arthrosis?
Arthrosis is a big term of fear. There are people who don't have arthrosis in their knees, for example, but great pain, and you just can't find anything there. On the other hand, there are those where you use computer tomography or whatever, whichever academically medical methods, and find high-grade arthrosis. It's divided into 4 stages: first degree, second degree, third and fourth degree. The worst degree of arthrosis who have 4th degree and no pain. From a scientific point of view, there is no connection between the degree of arthrosis and pain. And that's important to know. And this means that you don't have to be afraid of the word arthrosis. Rather, one should be afraid of knee pain in the course of life. And this is generally increasing. Statistically, most, and by far most, people by 80, 85 have severe knee pain, so heavy that they have to walk on a rollator or can only be in a wheelchair. And the knee pain increases. You should have respect for that, but not for arthrosis.
Okay.
Now, many people come to us with or without arthrosis, but mostly with pain. They come with knee pain. Most, I would say they have arthrosis of the knee. But there are also those who come simply because of knee pain. And for me, it's important that when they come, they also have acute pain. And I always say that if you have an appointment, please don't take any painkillers. Because when you take medication, you no longer feel what's happening. Pain is a warning signal that should be listened to. And if you suppress that with painkillers, then you don't feel it. Then you naturally move into unhealthy movement, which can then create inflammation, where the pain is much higher when you stop taking medication.
Now, there's also something like a pain memory. So the people who have had this pain in their knees for years, it's like basically phantom pain, even with an amputated leg. You know, a kind of relearning that we also teach the brain it doesn't hurt anymore. This transition. Are there also, from your side, phenomena, knowledge, how people deal with it when they have been suffering from pain for years and then are suddenly free of pain? Do they somehow get the pain back in their thoughts, or does it stay away?
What I'm much more familiar with is the limp memory. So the limp that remains. It's quite difficult because it has to do with the walk that is deeply rooted in all structures, including the mechanisms. Also in the fascial memory, there's also memory in there, or protective postures that have the effect of a memory. I'm well aware that people say it doesn't hurt anymore, but they're not completely free of a limp. You can see in almost all cases they limp a bit less, but it's still there a little bit, and it wouldn't even be necessary. From my point of view, our method is important. That one recognises first that this pain, this knee pain, has a cause.
Yes.
And many doctors think, and it's also the opinion of the people, that it comes from overload, but it's not from overload. It comes from misload plus underload, not from overload. Our joints, our knee joint, is built that it could be loaded much, much more. If you look at the primitive peoples, especially the Maasai people who still visit their water wells every day with a lot of weight, they take 20,000, 30,000 steps every day. In nature, though.
With still 20, 30 kilograms on the head.
With another 20, 30 kilos on the head too. All their lives. Well, then very old ones don't do it anymore. They still have to hike because they're nomads, but no longer with the water on their heads. Mainly women do that. In their culture, women get the water. But we don't suffer from overload with a few steps that we take. We suffer from misload and underload. You may be amazed. Why underload? Maybe you can show a picture there. And by the way, if you walk like the skeleton on the left, these are real people behind these skeletons. We did that in our own labs. These are real movements. Then you can see big differences from left to right. If you walk like the person on the left, you can load as much as you want. There's no wear and tear.
Yes, it's also very interesting, also in the shoulder. You don't mark that at all, but the shoulder is also much rounder on the left. So I could imagine that this relieving posture of the right also triggers a shoulder problem.
Well, that triggers all sorts of things. It even affects the psyche. One has the impression, one sees the skeleton, the head on the right shows a grumpy head, and then on the left, rather a bit friendlier than on the right. And although this is, of course, exactly the same head, but when the head looks down, it has an impact on my soul. It has to do with walk and posture. And you can imagine by looking at the circled knee, it takes a blow with every step, like a hammer on the anvil, a blow with every step. Why does it do this? It wouldn't have to do that at all. What's the use of an operation if I walk the same way afterwards? The cause of these blows in the knees is from walking on hard, flat ground. This is the wrong load. As soon as I walk barefoot in the sand, I walk automatically. More correct, automatically better, because the feet become much, much more active. Then in the bottom right, the feet are completely passive. In technical terms, this is called a retracted foot. The heel touches the ground, the foot folds down.
So the two people are the same person. Have I understood that correctly?
That's not the same person. There are two different people.
Yes, okay. But the left one
The left one walks on flat ground with normal shoes, and the one on the right walks on elastic, springy material. You can see the movement of the feet.
But you say the one on the right walks on elastic ground.
Oh, I said that wrong. The one on the left walks on soft, elastic, springy material, and the one on the right walks on flat ground in normal, flat soles. And that's the difference that makes it all happen, although they are different people. But it is possible that the person on the right relearns the walk on the left. And as soon as this person comes to us with acute knee pain, without medication, and we show them that this is how they should walk, like the person on the left, then also I've seen hundreds, if not thousands of people, and not one where it didn't work. For some it works faster and easier and 100% painless. But there has been at least a 50% reduction in pain within 3 minutes for everyone so far.
Unbelievable.
Well, just by changing the movement of the feet. You don't even need Kibun or Joya shoes. These elastic, springy material built into the sole. Just by actively walking, by explaining how to roll your feet. With a soft shoe or with a shoe that has a flexible sole. Deliberately walk on the ground like that, and the pain is already 50% relieved in most cases. As long as soft, elastic, springy mats or our shoes are, of course, much better. Because then you do it unconsciously, balancing it. You come in a balancing walk. The foot is much longer on the ground and moves forward from behind over the middle of the foot. And the elastic springy material naturally supports this smooth rolling. That's why it's much easier and faster. The pain's usually gone in 3 minutes. If you walk too long, the pain can come back, even on that material if you unconsciously walk incorrectly, or unconsciously walking correctly in our shoes. The pain can also come back. You have to consciously practice this right from the start. But then you also see that someone who has severe arthrosis of the 4th degree, 3rd degree comes and says, I'm in terrible pain. It works. So far, it's always worked. Sometimes just 50% improvement, but then these people realise and they tell themselves, well, if it doesn't hurt anymore, then it can't just be the arthrosis. So I still have arthrosis. It hurts less. So something has to change in my walk, and this walk is also the cause. If I didn't walk like on the right, it wouldn't hurt either. And why am I walking like this? Well, in my lifetime, the first cause, incorrect load, a lifetime on flat, hard ground, where the feet simply always folded down. I don't train my feet anymore. Wrong load, one cause. The second cause, sitting too much. Just the way you're sitting now. That would be better. Of course, walking is even better, but do it right. Walking barefoot in the sand, on moss, or if you're sitting, then don't do it in a way that the iliopsoas muscles, which are the hip flexor muscles, are shortened. Because then you can see on the right, when I fold my feet down, it's not just a blow to the knee, it's the movement. The range of motion of all the joints becomes much smaller. That means fasciae stick together. When fasciae stick together, they also shorten. And then there's more pressure on the joint. An increased pressure in the event of misload then causes inflammatory pain, arthrosis. This leads to it. And if you change that again, like you used to walk when you were young, when your feet were even stronger and much more an integral part of the walk, then you notice that you immediately have less pain.
You brought us more pictures. Shall we continue?
Yeah.
Yes, we can see.
Of course, you can see such a Kenyan Maasai warrior. How he moves his feet.
Yes, he really springs.
He springs, and do you know what springs? Your own muscles, the myofascia. The fasciae, they're charged and discharged with every step. And that protects, of course, and dampens the blow to the joints. Actually, finally, we would have the perfect cushioning system in the neuromyofasciae. These are the nerves, the fasciae, the muscle fibres, which would support and cushion the joints. We just have to use them. And we can only use them if our feet are more powerful, flexible, and move with balance.
Yes, you can still clearly see the restrictions here in real life. Yes, there we have it again.
Yeah, we also have it in close-up. You can see that the person walks like the skeleton walks on the right. The locomotion actually comes more from the hip motor. One thigh moves forward, one at a time. You put one foot in front of the other, actually only to put your legs down. The feet are no longer the power unit. If we look on the left, the feet of man in nature.
But he also walks from the outside. That's quite a different walk, although that's how you say it. When jogging with the carbon shoes, you also...
If you do it right.
Yes.
Physiologically means natural. It's designed by nature that we easily touch down on the outside, then push ourselves more in the direction of supination, so more outwards. Because the arch of the foot has nothing to support it on the inside. And then, only when pushing off, as you can see, he pushes off with his big toe. So you twist, your feet twist slightly, and the joint, the knee joint, is a highly complex joint. It's a combination of roller bearing and ball bearing. So roller bearings, with ball bearings with a wheel, it also rotates forward. And if the feet don't move like that, then there's just improper strain on the knees. And the incorrect strain also comes from incorrect movement, from monotonous movement of the feet. As you can see in the middle or on the right. Then in an extreme case, when you're very old, when you only need your feet to put your legs down, and fighting the causes would actually be the ideal method, or is the correct method to reverse the whole process, including arthrosis, to walk like that again, to be flexible again, to walk like that again, as is intended by nature, that the knees can also be optimally loaded, and then they can bear maximum load again.
Then there is always a killer argument. The cartilage is broken and can no longer be regenerated.
Well, that's not true at all. Then all the doctors who sell products to rebuild the cartilage would be lying. Hyaluronic acid, for example, is injected, glucosamine is given, all sorts of things, and all of them would be lying if cartilage could no longer be built up.
Yes, you can prove it, so it works.
Yeah, it works. I also used to have fourth-degree cartilage damage. It was also proven in the CT. And today I can jump down from 2 or 3 meters onto hard ground and can do all kinds of sports that I could do when I was 30. So cartilage can be built up again. But the most important thing, of course, is nutrition. Vitamin C, for example, is also very important in cartilage development. Proper nutrition in the synovial fluid inside is important. But the most important thing, also according to academic medicine, is the training, the strain on the knees. What you don't strain, that breaks. Use it or lose it. Or if you rest, you rust. There's a study based on Wolff's law from 1892 and subsequent studies that prove that when cartilage, and by the way even with osteoporosis, training, movement is important. Above all, load more and load properly. Because if you load incorrectly, the cartilage will of course be damaged even more. When loaded properly, and that's a fine line between correct loading, so loading more, but correct loading and incorrect loading. If you load correctly, then this is the best method, which is also recommended by doctors in clinics. You should ride a bike, not walk, but walking would be best, or jumping on a trampoline. Not jumping, just that trampolining move would be best. And walking on elastic, springy ground. The better alternative than riding a bike, because we're not built for riding a bike. There, the load on the knee joint is not 100% physiological.
Yes, you noticed that too.
Okay. Super.
Great. So in conclusion, we definitely summarize again. The innovative method, if you really want to read up on it again, you have arthrosis, you have pain. How would you go about it now, before you operate on anything or whatever? What is the optimal step now?
Well, you can try it out at home, barefoot or in socks, on a floor that's as soft as possible. Carpet. It would be ideal if it were springy elastic. You don't have it everywhere, but at least it's soft, that you try to consciously roll the foot slowly. And where the arthrosis is, where the pain is, to bear full weight, full load, but rolling very slowly. Go left, right, rolling like in slow motion, while you are being upright. And when you do that and feel relief, then I'll definitely go to the Cuban Joya store as the next step, where you can find these mats, these soft elastic mats, or even the shoes that you can try out risk-free for 2 weeks. Then try it very slowly, walk in slow motion on these soft elastic soles. You'll also be instructed there. And then almost everyone notices pain's gone.
Where are these shops? Where can I find them?
Well, these are found under Kybun, that's K-Y-B-U-N, Joya, J-O-Y-A, on the internet, regional, in Germany. And there are more than 30 countries, but now especially in the German-speaking area, it's Switzerland, Germany, Austria. There are quite a few of these shops regionally.
Okay, Great, perfect. Well, thank you very much for being here today. It was very interesting again. Above all, I think it's always nice when you have such solutions for pain without any interventions or medication, where you then end up having even more side effects at the end of the day. So that's why I'm happy. We will do another interview also about the method for arthrosis of the hip.
Well, it's different again there. It works differently.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for being here today and see you soon.
Thank you, Karina.
Dear viewers, I hope you were able to take something away with you. There is nothing better than going through life pain-free. And that's what we're here for. That you find the ideal way for yourself from the whole bouquet of possibilities. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful time. See you soon. Bye.